Rabbi Ben Ezra is a very optimistic poem composed by Robert Browning. It is a dramatic monologue, and the main speaker of this poem is Rabbi Ben Ezra. Rabbi is an old Jew, and he is so hopeful, so optimistic that he always believes in the existence of God. Rabbi, in this poem, he advises to old person to learn from his own experience that they should undergo old age as it is the best and last part of their life. According to Rabbi, life is a cup of tea, and we should try to enjoy even the last sip of it. Enjoy, welcome this age. This is the advice from the side of Rabbi, that we should not be afraid of old age, but we should enjoy it. We should welcome this age. And he is telling his own experience that he is very happy in his old age because it is perfect. It is the best age as it is fulfilled, it is experienced, and it is matured. He says that our life starts from childhood and it was made only for old age. If we don't grow, old, then there is no use of our life. Our all happiness and sorrows are in only God's hands. Therefore, we should not fear of anything because our life is in the hands of God. So why should we be afraid of old age? God says that He has made life in a part. If someone is undesirous to grow old, regarding it unnecessary, then it is wrong and against to the desire and against to the rule of God. Because from childhood to youth, life is only half part and not full. John Milton also said that we must accept God's all gifts happily. If we grow old, it means we have enjoyed our whole life. God has created us in His own form, so we should be happy. He has given us various gifts, and here we find that Rabbi's philosophy or Browning's philosophy is very similar to the philosophy of John Milton, because John Milton, in his blindness, he also regarded that we have been provided with so many different gifts from the side of God. And without asking to share with Him or to give Him back, we should pay Him thanks for each and everything, whatever God has given us. He has given us also the quality of giving love, mercy, sympathy. We realize a divine inspiration that continuously flows within us. We are very near to God. Therefore, we should welcome each difficulties with happiness. Rabbi Ben Ezra says that through difficulties, through problems or troubles in our life, that is always sent by God from heaven, they always teach us that don't sit idly, but do something. Or, according to William Shakespeare also, sweets are the uses of adversity. Face problems, struggle with craze. Our life, childhood, youth, old age, our life is filled with joys and sorrows, and if we are unhappy, our God also gets sad. So, don't get a simple poor consolation, that is luck. Don't complain, don't have in your memory your past sufferings. All these advices are from the side of Rabbi Ben Ezra, that we must try to be happy more and more in our life. It is said, and it is also regarded, that we are superior to animals. Why? Because man is not born only to eat, drink, and get married. If men were born only to take food, his soul's work would be to feed him. And this statement that we are different from low creatures would be simply a boast. Men would not consider anything except food, and his all activities, his intellectuality would be ended, isn't? So, according to Rabbi Ben Ezra, to find food is not the purpose of our life. Otherwise, what will man do after feeding himself? Or when his feast would be ended? A bird or animal doesn't care of anything, doesn't think of anything after having their belly full. But man, having mind, considers its mean. He has not come in this world for eating and drinking like animals, or to fulfill only his petty desires, his mean, trivial desires. So there is a difference between man and an animal, and it is but if a man does not utilize his brain, he will be the same like an animal, or just like a dead body. If they say they are living, they they are not living, because life is a struggle. Life is a name of zeal or a spark. If they say that no, they are happy, only eating, enjoying, they deceive themselves. And they must try to do something greater, something higher and different in their life if they want to perfect their soul. God has given us a quality of giving to others. For example, mercy, help, love, consolation. If we give all these things to others, we are very nearer to God than those person who only knows how to take. So we have to be giver just like God and not the taker. God gives us all those things which are necessary for us, such as physical body, intellectuality, food, water, air, talents, or other gifts also, eyes, ears, hands, mind, soul, qualities to love, mercy and sympathy. So he has given us each and everything. Therefore, if he gives us pain, miseries, difficulties, failure, tears in our eyes, or unhappiness, it means they are also very necessary for us. They are also very inevitable for us. They come to teach us, they come to inspire us, they come to make us brave, bold, matured, experienced. So we should not shed tears, we should not cry, we should not be unhappy, or we should not make a complaint, or we should not get depressed, but we should welcome them. We should also take these gifts very happily from God as we take other gifts from Him. Therefore, we learn from them without having any account of our miseries and without complaint to God. Rabbi advises all the human beings that face the problem and trust God. Rabbi Ben Ezra does not condemn youth age for their romantic imagination, for their high desires, for their ambitions, hope, fears, doubts. All these things are very necessary in the youth age also. And he appreciates all these qualities. He appreciates all these different kind of temperament in the youth. He says that it is natural. It is also a charm of the youth age. Rabbi Ben Ezra wants to get nobility, or he wants to be noble-minded, he wants to be very spiritual. But there arises a paradox in his brain. If he gives up, or he sacrifices world for God, or worldly things for spirituality, will it not be his failure in the eyes of worldly creatures? Of course, it will be his failure. But this sacrifice will take him nearer to God. So there is a paradox in his mind what to do, what he must do. And he will get success there in heaven. Because worldly minded person will mock at the achievement of his spiritualism. It is true. And but if he gets success, if he gets success in the world, it means that he will lose success in the heaven. So the success of heaven will be failure in the world, and the success of the world will be failure in the heaven. But he will get comfort by the failure of earth. His aim is to be a noble, spiritual and loving to God. He says, Rabbi Ben Ezra says that if he does not get success in his aim, he will not be unhappy, because at least he had tried and kept himself far from animals who don't try. God has given us many useful things, such as beautiful eyes to see beautiful things, which he created nature, world, man, and he has also given us ears for hearing, brain for thinking, and that is for collecting what we see and hear and get. He has given us power to our own limbs. He has made us perfect. He has made us powerful. So should we not pay him thanks for his all these gifts and perfection? He gives us extra energy in our youth age or in our young age, which excites us, which inspires us. We should use this gift providing only in young age. We must be very thankful to God. Rabbi says that he had also that power in his young age which was utilized by him the most. He made himself perfect in both field, physical and spiritual. He used not only his senses but his spirit too, and he raised high not his mind but soul. Soul also. He gathered all knowledge in his young age through his physical and spiritual power for old age. But if God had not given him mind, his eyes, ears and other parts of body would have been useless. Rabbi does not say that we should not care of our body. No, he doesn't say this in this poem. As seed is closed in rose, soul is closed in body. Life is important. Life is also very important. So live and learn and enjoy your knowledge. Our heart never beats with joy in his appreciation, and it is really hurts Rabbi Ben. It is very hurtful for Rabbi Ben Ezra that we are never grateful to our God. We never appreciate him. Now Rabbi has understood very well all the plannings of God in his old age. When he was young, he only realized God's power, but now in old age he is realizing his love, his affection. And whatever he does, that is also right. He does everything in the goodness of human beings. He has given us innumerable things because he loves us. He gives a remarkable picture of estimating of a man's worth. God and world both have an account in their hand for the achievements of a man in his life. Worldly people miss his spiritual achievement and count only worldly progress. But if Rabbi's account is vacant in the hands of man, it will be full in the hands of God. His account is if decreasing here, it is increasing there in paradise. According to Christian mythology, there is nothing after death, no soul, no rebirth, no reward. They regard everything is this worldly. Everything is only in this world. Therefore, enjoy only your present. Past has gone and future will be seen. But Rabbi says past never goes. All works done in the past help in the present, and it also helps in the future and even in the next life too. Human body is changeable but not soul. It was even with you when you were in womb of your mother. Rabbi says that those people are stupid who believe life is for pleasure and who says God, soul is nothing. Soul is mortal like our body. While soul is everything, it lives all the time, being immortal. Such things cannot be destroyed by past. There is no past, present, and future for our soul. It remains always the same. Rabbi makes a very beautiful comparison of his soul, of God, of time. That God, he regards God as a potter who fixes our soul in the middle of the wheel, that is time. The wheel is dancing, spinning, or moving around this earth. The fixed soul is but moving less, being immortal and changeless. The movement of wheel doesn't affect soul a little or a bit. The circumstances of time is just like plastic, flexible, changeable. Our soul work, fortune, everything is in his hand. Our all action, each and everything is in the hands of God. He is maker, he is destroyer. He destroys finding some imperfections or faults or defects in his own creation. He is free to give any shape to our soul. Time being flexible can make us everything. We are also puppet of the hands of time and God. Potter is changeless, so is pitcher, our soul. Only time moves and change. God changes our soul according to our circumstances. We are fond of happiness. We want to hold happiness tightly in our hands without thinking about future and next world. We regard present is all in all and enjoy all happiness in this. Our life or body is just like a machine in the shape of a body, so that we may take a spiritual pleasure, knowledge, and experience. So, Rabbi says that we should try to turn our body to soul. It is the duty of our body to try to raise up our soul to perfection. Rabbi regards that our soul is in the hand of God, so it is changeless, but our body, human beings, are in the hand of time, so they are changeable.